If you watched my video last week, then you already know that this time last week I was in a place of confusion. I was just totally tired. I had a very, very severe mental meltdown, and it was so deep. It was very deep. I was not only physically weak, I was physically, emotionally, spiritually weak. I was just tired of everything because it felt like I was doing everything right and I was still not seeing results, which really took a toll on me. I am not here to act strong. I am here to tell you how to show up, how to believe in yourself, and how to start again, even when everything seems like it's in a chaos. Even when it feels like everything that you've worked for is falling apart right in front of you. 2 years ago, I had a very major fallback in my life. Let me just put it like that. So I had a project I was working on. I've been working on it for the past few years, and then it collapsed. Yes, it collapsed, and I was in a stage of the end. Like, it was already the end. It was the only thing I needed to do that time was to share the testimony of, oh, I did this to the end, and then it just collapsed. At that moment, it felt like everything was over for me because I just kept asking God why and why and why. And when everybody else, when the list came out, when everybody result came out, and my name was not there, and I was like, what do I tell people? People that actually know that I can do this thing. How will I tell them I actually did not pass it? How would I tell them I actually did not qualify? It was really a great one for me. I think it's the worst year of my life because everything just felt like it was coming down. I've never ever felt so hard, I have never ever felt so confused in my heart that God has failed me because I did everything I was supposed to do as a Christian, and even people that were there were not actually believers, and they still got that thing over me. So it was really overwhelming. I've never been that convinced that God is not faithful. But there was something that just kept on happening to me. Even though, because my family members knew about it and a few friends knew about it, but I did not tell anybody else about it. But even though I was questioning God in my heart, even though I had a lot of questions going on in my heart, there was still something that just kept on making me say something that was not in my heart, which was, even though in my heart I was crying, I was bitter, I was like, no, God, are you really God? Somehow, when people ask me that what is going on, or when even I'm in my closet, I kept on saying God is faithful. I kept on saying that God has done me well. And at that moment, nothing around me suggested that God has actually done me well. And I just found myself saying it over and over again. Even people around me were surprised. You know, when you're trying to console someone and the person is telling you, God has done me well, God is faithful. But deep inside me, I knew that, I don't say God has not done me, but I knew that things were not right. Like, I cried so much. It was this period that I knew that you can cry so much that your chest will be paining you. I'm sorry for the way I look because I have cold and kata. So anytime I have cold and kata, I seem to sweat a lot. So yeah, just pardon me. So, like, I cried so much that my chest started aching. No, when you cry to an extent, your chest was aching. But somehow, I questioned God. Oh, like in my heart, but my mouth kept on saying God is faithful. And it was that particular time. And it was that particular time that it became part of me to always say God is faithful. Now, if you know me well, my best line is God is faithful. God is faithful. God has done me well. But I say God is faithful so much. And eventually, I was able to do that thing, and I actually came through with it. Like, I shall finished it, and I was done with that part. But that was the worstest time of my life. And the most funny thing, the one thing that God did for me was that somehow, I was able to still complete that particular phrase with the people that actually crossed them. I don't want to go into details, but somehow God delayed them, and I was able to cross to them. And this was something that I had cried so much about, shouted at God, I've served you, I've done this, I've done that. Why didn't this go through? Eventually, when that storm was over, I got to know that the reason why, even though my heart was saying something else, I could still say God was faithful, was because I conditioned myself so much that it was hard for it to come out of my mouth. Like, it was hard for a curse to come out of my mouth. It was hard for anything to come out of my mouth against God. Even though my heart was heavy, somehow, my lips knew that it was not my place to cast a stone at God. Now, these are the three things that I did that helped me during this praise. Number one is I spoke to save people. Like, I didn't tell everybody what I was going through, but I told a few people that I knew that were safe to speak to. I didn't tell them that this was what was happening, but I just randomly ranted to them and told them I was going through this and that. But I make sure that there were people that I knew that they will always have something positive to say. So that was it. Number two was I switched to worship. I'm not a music kind of person, but instead of just throwing aimlessly on my phone, doing things that I know that would put me in a bad mood, I actually started listening to worship song. And my best song was this Victoria Rose song. Ẹni tó bá dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi, bàbá mi lẹ́jọ́, I get back, I know they walk alone. That was my favorite song at that particular moment. Like, I sang the song so much that I'm sure that Victoria Rose felt it. Now, number three is that I stopped dragging myself. I just used to grace, because I stopped pulling myself down that, oh, why did you not put so much effort in it? I just accepted it that, oh, it has happened, and that does not define me. That does not define that God does not have what he's doing in my life. One thing that I even got to know at that moment that I concluded in my life was that God was still writing my story. God was still there, and God was not done with me. And that phrase that I was at that moment cannot be God's plan for me. So that kept me going, and it really helped me a lot. So yes, it took time. Yes, I doubted God. In fact, I doubted it. But somehow, some way, God was working behind the scenes for me, even when I did not believe it. So if you are somewhere right now, maybe just came across this video and then you're just like, oh, let me just watch this video. This is God telling you that he can still see you. I know you're wondering if God sees you, if God even knows what is going on with you. Why do you have to put so much effort and nothing is showing? God wants me to tell you he can still hear you. God is not intimidated by your doubts. God is not moved or shaken by your pain. God is still the same one on the mountaintop. He's still the same one in the valley. And he wants me to tell you that he will come through for you. God is still in the business of helping men. So even when your mind says, God has failed me, may your lips be able to say that God is faithful, because that is where the miracle starts. Not when everything makes sense, but even when everything is broken, you still trust in God. And I want you to know today that it's not too late for God to rewrite anybody's story. It takes absolutely a twinkle of an eye for God to rewrite that story to something that suits you. If you watch this video to this extent, please leave that to this point. Please leave in the comment section that God is faithful. Let's just say it together and just reaffirm that yes, God is definitely faithful. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, then you know that that's not good enough. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and then turn on the notification bell so that you will be first to be notified anytime I release a new video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Love your kiss. Bye.